We made two schematic diagrams, and this one you see is sort of section of the city as it is. And what you can see is when the water rises, it will actually, even if it's just 1 meter, it will not rise 1 meter in this level, but it will actually go up far more meters, let's say 5 or 6. The question then is, can you still design an edge of a city in a normal way, or should we reconsider actually the whole city? I mean, looking at this image, you can say that Rotterdam becomes uninhabitable. Existing infrastructure won't work anymore. The hierarchy and the existing structure of the city would become obsolete. Notions of site, of edge, would all become sort of a thing of the past. So we thought, should we not consider in a larger scale? Looking at the map of the Netherlands, on the left is the map of the country as it is right now. And if the water level would rise 1 meter, you would get this situation. Half of the country would be gone. What to do? Should we move everybody east? We don't think we should do that. For one reason, of course, is we don't want to create a sort of big urban landscape on the east of the Netherlands. But also, we think that it's not in the Dutch mentality to actually say, okay, the water has come, let's all go. So we're looking for a new strategy of making sort of settlements or recreate cities in the west of the Netherlands. We did this by actually looking at 3 conditions of the Netherlands as a starting point. First being that the Netherlands is a highly artificial landscape. It might look natural, but it's completely cultural. Second condition is that Rotterdam is already a sort of city of fragments. And third condition is that Rotterdam wants to define its identity by building a lot of towers. And we take these 3 sort of conditions as a starting point for our project. In the first diagram again, you can see the city as it is right now. And what we actually propose is this. We think we should sort of save the fragments, historical important, symbolical fragments of the city by building walls around them. And in the meantime, we could start making towers. These are not like your normal dwelling towers or office towers. These are more, we see them as infrastructural nodes that can develop into a tower if necessary. This can all be done, let's say, can be started with at this point. And later on they can develop into towers and or other things. And the third thing is create a new artificial landscape. This time not a 2-dimensional artificial landscape, but a 3-dimensional artificial landscape. And when the water would eventually come, the city would be saved, important monuments would be saved, and public life will ascend to the next level. If we look at the map of Rotterdam, this is the existing city as it is right now. Here are some of the monuments we plan to keep by building walls around them. Some of the important museums of the city. I mean, later on, when this process is in development, people can maybe sort of point other buildings that are important to save, but we also save the river Maas, and we think that the shape of the river is actually as important for the city as are the other monuments. Next step is making a grid of towers in a sort of gradual way, and these towers become the infrastructural nodes, the services for the city. And the last step, when the water has come, is to create a slab on top of this city and turn the Maas River into a park. And the thing is, the Maas is right now the sort of the heart of the city. It will lose that function if everything around it will become water, and by turning it into a park, we could maybe create this situation. Sort of nice, big central park in the middle of the city. Looking at the cross-section of our new city, zoom in on the left, the whole slab would serve as an infrastructural entity, and it would develop into a sort of, it could have harbor functions, it could have the subway line into it and other infrastructural things. The energy suppliers could be underneath the slab, and an artificial landscape can be created on top. As all infrastructure is already in the slab, we can actually make a new landscape on top. This is a sort of vision of different landscape we can create. The towers actually provide for the bulk of the city, that is the dwellings, the offices. The slab contains the infrastructure, and on top we can create different artificial landscapes as we like. Going to the other end of the section, and here you can see an example of a fragment we want to keep, in this case the city hall. The wall around it could be used for offices and other things. And it would result in something like this. So you would have a new sort of ground floor which would look down on the old monuments of the city, which would become sort of part of the city. Also in the back you see the Tower of Nationaal Nederland. This is our proposal.